I see that, Annabeth. She's like, okay, well, maybe he's not such a nerd. Maybe he's not such a loser. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Season 1. We're now to the third episode, which is called We Visit the Garden Gnome Emporium. So, this is a very fun episode, I think it's going to be. We get introduced to yet another Greek god. If we are following the cadence of the book and even the movie for that matter. The last episode was where we get to see Percy finally claimed by his father, who is Poseidon. He finally feels like he's got a place in this camp, and now he knows who his dad is, even though he has never actually interacted with him. And we also find out that he's got a quest, his very first quest. He's barely been there a couple of days, and he's already going to have to leave again because the Master Bolt of Zeus has been stolen. And at the moment, Zeus is blaming Percy because he thinks that because Poseidon had a forbidden child and is just now starting to take note of him, he thinks that maybe he somehow put Percy up to stealing his Master Bolt. But that's where we're at. So he's saying to Percy that he's got to go out and actually find where the bolt is because they believe that the bolt is with Hades, who is the third big three brother who hates his other two brothers because he's had to live in the underworld his whole life. And so because Percy's mom is also down there, at least they suspect she is, this is the motivation that Percy needs to go on a quest when he really has basically no training, very little understanding of the world, and is just starting to understand his powers. So sounds like a recipe for disaster, but isn't that what all good adventures start out with? So we're going to jump into the episode, but just before I do, a reminder that I do lots of different types of reactions here on this channel to shows, movies, all kinds of good stuff. So if you'd like to follow me, support me, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you showed some love with some likes and some comments below. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. I appreciate it so much. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right about now. Yeah, there's one thing I don't do. It's creepy ass addicts. I don't know how people just be hanging out up there. Like, most houses where I live don't do attics. Like, if there is a crawl space, that's all it is. But there's not like an actual full-on attic. That's very much like a U.S. building thing, I think.
Hi, I'm Percy. It's nice to meet you.
I think you should check for a pulse, bro.
Which is weird, considering your Halloween decoration.
Wow, Percy. It's from the people closest to you, you know? Oh, ma'am. Uh-oh. Just use a toothbrush, hun. When the halitosis be that bad. Who are you?
You shall go west and face the god who has turned.
Oh, her stepdad. I didn't even recognize him.
The entrance to Hades' domain lies under the city of Los Angeles.
No shade there. LA is a hellmouth. Buffy told us this long ago.
You will choose two to join you on this quest.
Oh, he gets to choose.
That we succeed.
Annabeth.
Aww.
Customarily, one waits to.
He's like, I already know what I want. We like a decisive guy.
And if the mission required someone to push me down a flight of stairs for it to succeed, we want someone who won't hesitate when they do it.
Damn, he said she cold as ice. He's like,
first quest mate shall be Annabeth.
He's like, I can't argue with you there. Annabeth's pretty cold. Poor girl's like, I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I'll take it.
Dude, what have you been eating?
Just grass, bro. Just grass. Maybe some oats. An apple or two.
Shoveling his poop.
That horse just laughed.
Who'd you choose to go with you?
You.
Sure did.
Funny. No, seriously, who'd you choose?
I chose you.
Here's Bestie. Besties can fight sometimes, but you know, we love each other deep down.
Shall be betrayed by the one who calls you friend.
It's so funny to hear this man try to be poetic with this strong Eastern accent.
I'm gonna pack the best snacks.
That is very important on a quest. No one wants to be hangry when trying to quest.
I think they're Canadian, maybe?
I appreciate it, but no.
I brought you this.
Thank you, but I already have a girlfriend. At least, you don't know it yet, but you do, Percy.
Those are interesting.
A gift. From my dad.
How do you know my shoe size, weirdo?
If it gets in the way of the quest, Annabeth might try to. And you told me you'll always be on her side no matter what, and...
It's okay.
Strategic. We like it. Shows that Percy is more of a thinker than people might give him credit for. Yo, that tree be on a gangsta lean.
Zeus intervened to save her life and changed her form.
The most powerful being in the universe's best
To make her a
idea to
tree.
save his daughter's life was to turn her into a tree?
She was the bravest demigod I ever knew.
She made a pinecone's fate.
Damn. Too soon, Percy.
And you are not Thalia. Do exactly as I say, and maybe you survive this.
Oh, there's the Annabeth that I expected. I mean, you did just insult her best friends, so... One of the things I like about the fact that these actors are actually all about, 11, 12, 13 during this filming is that in the books, it's so much more fun at this idea of these very young kids kind of going out and exploring the world on their own, because typically you don't let kids this age just go out and do whatever they want. Like, people would have questions, which is an obstacle in of itself. But with the movie, all the actors were clearly of age, so no one's going to bat an eyelash at a bunch of, 19, 20, 21-year-olds doing their thing.
Zeus might decide to take a shot at you himself. The sky is his domain. He'd be serving you up on a silver platter to try to travel through it.
But I'm a Stormbringer.
I don't think you should just get to decide we don't vote.
She did.
I'm sorry to hear that.
She's like, take it to management. Oh, wait, I'm management.
The road's getting bumpy because I got me some friends who just can't get along. Oh dear, when the team...
Why are you so cute, Grove? His face. He's like, I'm dissolving the tension.
You get a few rounds in and you'd be amazed at how disagreements just kind of...
I believe you. Annabeth, go get the snacks. I appreciate it. I personally love a good song.
Chips and soda's okay for you guys?
Yes.
Whatever. Their voting system's broken.
Isn't? Listen, Annabeth's a queen, and you're going to respect that and love it one day, Percy, I promise. She's the queen of strategy, but she cannot choose which gumball to pick. Like, she can't choose which one. Uh-oh, that's a Fury. I can feel it. I can see it. They all dress the same.
The trick is to spot them first before they spot you.
Yeah, that stiff-ass posture.
Some are better at sensing your inadequacy. Some your need for glory.
Oh, great. So really, these monsters are just a mirror into my soul, into my deepest fears and concerns. That's great.
Nothing will stop them. Not even death.
Yeah, see, they all have the same hairdo.
If Thalia were better at hers, there might not be a family of squirrels making her their home.
Is that why Hades sent you here?
You're not the frightened little girl I came for all those years ago.
You're right.
Either way, now it would seem that you're exactly what they say you are.
A queen?
Pride
A
of
beauty?
His offspring.
Oh, thank you.
I can take him quietly away from so many eyes, and your quest goes on unimpeded and unburdened.
How?
Some children must learn the hard way.
It's kind of what I pride myself on.
Oh no.
Go, 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 go!
Banging? Yeah, do you think that she came alone? Good shot! We love a girl who's got precise aim. Let's go. Yeah, there's gonna be more. Furies, plural. And we jump right in, guys. There is no breathing on this quest. I also like that they're kind of having Percy learn as he goes along, because they don't really have time for, like, the sitting down exposition.
We haven't even gotten to Trenton, and we're wandering through a forest. I didn't even know they had forests in New Jersey, but we found one.
What do you think you get your air from, sir? Think the trees were just scenery? A little tarp that they pull up over the sky?
If we call camp, we're basically saying it was a mistake to choose us.
Well, I don't think Percy had much choice, though.
You know what's interesting about this particular Seder path is it's actually the one
Thank
my
you.
Uncle
Distract and diffuse.
Then at least let's call your mom.
Excuse me?
Athena? When was the last time she talked to you?
Grover.
I don't know why you keep pulling him into this. He's on my side. What makes you think that? He's my protector.
She's like, I needed you to distract, and you didn't do your one job, Grover.
Thalia, Luke, and Annabeth had a Seder protector. It
Had.
was you. Why didn't you tell me?
Hamburgers.
Oh, I thought it was danger. But that's important, too. Again, they're all hangry. This is why they're bickering, truthfully. They're growing children. They need lots of carbs. Gotta say, Grover's legs look good.
Let's get out of here. Please. While we still can.
Maybe not.
You should have accepted my offer when you had the chance.
Who are you?
Offer? What offer is she talking about?
Not today, friends. Not on my doorstep.
Oh, she used her wing. That was smart.
But it isn't as though she'll leave either. Not if it means reporting that she failed to retrieve the son of Poseidon.
Oh, she's up to date.
The forbidden child has been claimed. How long did you think that secret would keep?
I don't know. I've been in this world for 15 minutes.
I'm Medusa.
You look amazing. Love the red lip.
And I'm offering you lunch.
I mean, we are hungry. Who doesn't want a burger? Eat with your eyes closed. You'll actually taste the burger even more. You know, the flavors will come through.
Dude, I can't explain it. My mom used to tell me her story.
I mean, the alternative is fighting this chick.
Do what you want.
Oh, he said I'm tired. Consensus, my foot.
I left snacks on the table while I got something.
Just a few. Don't eat all that. You'll get diabetes.
Percy, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really hungry and I'm ready to take that chance.
So you're not a monster. What are you then?
A survivor.
You must be a little more than that.
I'm gonna give up.
You are loyal to your mother. Yes. You stand by her. Always.
All right.
Do you know the story of how I came to be this way?
Please, let's talk about it.
Do you?
Maybe you should hear it from the person who experienced it.
I prayed to her. I made offerings. She never answered.
Busy, you know.
I wasn't like you, sweetheart.
Oh.
I was you.
Oh. Except that I'm her child.
You see, God told me that he loved me. I felt as though he saw me in a way I had never felt seen before.
Poseidon, you hoe.
Athena declared that I had embarrassed her and I needed to be punished.
That's not the way it went.
She decided that I would never be seen again by anyone who would live to tell the tale. They want us to blame ourselves for their own shortcomings.
That is not what happened. And you are a liar.
Ma'am, just have a burger and leave. So many
She's not
burgers.
usually like that.
She is.
I mean, a little bit. She is.
I was about to say, but bless you.
Your mother and I, we're like sisters in a way.
What?
Targeted by the same monster. So I find myself feeling protective of you.
Sure.
My mom never talked about my dad that way.
Where is she now? Your mother.
Damn. Well played. Well played.
Will they let you make her safe if it conflicts with their quest?
I don't know. I've only known Annabeth for 15 hours.
Help you remove them from the equation?
How would that help? Quests must be taken on by 3. You came on a bit too strong there, sis. Literally. How are you going to ask a 12-year-old if he would like his friends to be murked? You should have at least given him a burger first. Ooh, like the eye design. Simple but effective. Not this horror movie editing. Oh, well, those are different stairs. I know that heating's a bit expensive these days, but isn't this just dangerous? Whole place will go up like a tinderbox. This is quite the basement. I mean, you'd never know from the upstairs. Okay, great. This is where we die. Wow. I love the poses that they chose for this.
As soon as you hear me sing, Maya, you guys start to, oh boy. Okay, down.
Why would you say the word, Grover? All right, well, we're down to 2. We can do this.
A daughter of a self-righteous mother.
Thank you.
Who chose self-righteousness for herself.
Well, it can't be self-righteousness if I chose it for somebody else. Like, self, ma'am. It's in the term. Hair design is good. Don't do it, Perce. Good job, Purse. Teamwork is dreamwork. Listen, Grover still fulfilled his part, even if it wasn't quite according to plan. I just want to note that. I think that was also a very creative way that they did this because this is supposed to be like a rated PG show, so showing a beheading is a bit much.
Make sure it's pointing in the right direction before you take my hat off.
Good tip.
Do you see the way you guys already work together? You didn't even notice you work together? Yeah, I'm her too. It's like, be well. Good morrow, brother, but I'm going to stay back here just in case this does not go as planned. Well done. He's a natural. I see that, Annabeth. She's like, okay, well, maybe he's not such a nerd. Maybe he's not such a loser.
But what are we gonna do with the head?
Keep it.
What are you actually doing on this quest, and why do I have to hear about this from Medusa?
Okay, while we're at it.
I was about to say, pot kettle.
What's that about, do you
Not the
think?
time.
And why do we have to hear it from Electa?
Can you imagine how confusing that must be for him? Feeling like he may have to choose between the fate of the world and the fate of the only person who's ever cared about him.
Why are you talking like this?
Because y'all are acting like children.
What are you so afraid of?
What are you talking about?
You heard me.
Girl was tired.
You shall be betrayed by one who calls you a friend, and you shall fail to save what matters most in the end. That's the rest of what she said to me. I chose her because I couldn't imagine we'd ever be friends.
Because you'll be lovers. Sorry, too soon.
I don't know what to think or who to trust.
Now, would the betrayal have happened if you hadn't told them? That's the question. Self-fulfilling prophecy?
Medusa offered to help me save my mom if I turned to the two of you.
What'd you say?
I cut off her head.
Cut off her head.
Look at y'all being the samey same. It's fate.
We can decide that as long as the three of us are together, none of us are going to be alone. And if we can't do that, we might as well just head back to camp right now.
Facts. Look at Grover. Actually acting like the oldest one in this group.
I think I've got a better idea what to do with this.
Skin it and wear it like a hat. I'm sorry, that was dark.
Like batteries, you just send them back where they came from.
Okay, look, this is a bad idea.
It isn't. Let's do it.
They will see this as impertinent.
I am impertinent.
Exactly.
This way, part of your mom's still with us.
See, he's a thoughtful boy. Just gotta give him a chance. Let's
You're
sing.
going to sing the song, aren't you?
You sure am. We finally see the building. Lin-Manuel? I see you, sir. Why so serious? I should have known. I was just about to ask if he was going to break into song. Just wouldn't be a part for him unless he sung somehow. Do we get to see some gods now? Tease, such a tease. Okay, guys, well, that was episode 3, and I think that was really well done. We have our trio, Percy selecting who to go with, his choosing Annabeth, not necessarily for the nicest of reasons. You know, he basically heard from the Oracle, who chose the form of his stepfather, who he can't stand, which is kind of funny. But anyways, telling him that one of them were going to betray him at a very crucial moment. And so, understandably, from the last episode, him and Annabeth have this cold war going on at the moment. Like, they both respect each other, but they don't like each other. Annabeth obviously underestimates Percy. She doesn't necessarily respect the fact that he's hiding from who he is, in her opinion. And conversely, Percy just doesn't like the fact that she's come in with these prejudgments and has been throwing him into danger's way and been very curt and cold with him. So obviously it's a lot of misunderstandings, because I love how this episode in particular shows that Percy and Annabeth actually think and act very similarly, but even though it seems like they don't, clearly there is some differing between them, and a lot of that has to do with the way that they were raised. Annabeth always knowing what she is, or almost always knowing what and who she was, versus him just discovering recently. But again, I really like how the show did a really good job this episode of showing that they both very much think the same. They both very much have the same value system, even if it doesn't necessarily come across the same way. And seeing poor Grover this whole time trying to be the bridge between these two, I wouldn't say opposing, but at the moment, these two forces that are trying to pull away from each other was very entertaining. But I kind of like how he was very chill and passive and really trying to just be like the peacemaker in the beginning. And then he finally was like, okay, I'm done with y'all. I've had it. You're getting on my damn nerves. We just need to talk this out because we're only in our first stop on this quest and this is how much y'all are bickering. We're not going to make it. We are going to end up getting separated. And so we see that it was a couple of deals, right? We saw the Fury try to make a deal with Annabeth saying, hey, give up Percy. You get to keep going on your quest. And then we had Percy getting the offer from Medusa. Give up the other two and you can keep going on your quest. And it's like the trials, the temptations, and again with oracles, they are generally in Greek mythology, they generally tend to be true, but they also are notorious for giving prophecies that are not as literal as people think. They very rarely give you a straight answer, and that's why they were always so frustrating in Greek mythology. But anyway, because of that, we see that Percy's really just been struggling. Like he's not sure about Grover because Grover was not honest with him. Someone he thought was his very first friend withheld very important information and even had him feeling like he was going crazy at times instead of telling him the truth. Of course, we know why he had to do that, but Percy is still trying to wrestle with all of that. And then, of course, as I said, Annabeth, he doesn't know at all and he thinks Annabeth dislikes him. So very understandable that he was very, very much trying to keep everybody at arm's length and stay in control of this whole mission. But yes, the two of them both getting those two options from the Fury, from Medusa, all these things trying to pull this trio apart because all of the opposing forces know that the three of them are stronger together than they would be if they were apart. And if they're not mentally in the zone as a trio, then it's going to be easy to pick them off one by one. And so, as I said, Grover coming in really clutch there and being like, we have got to get our heads on straight. Let's get out all of the drama. Let's just talk about it. Let's get all of these things that are bothering us out on the table so we can actually move forward on a clean slate. And then we hear, of course, the fact that both Percy and Annabeth got tempting offers, but they both decided to stay loyal in that moment. And so Grover basically was like, you see, like you both chose each other, which is good. And I mean, Grover didn't have anything like that in this moment, but like he said, I'm obviously not going anywhere. Like I've already been on a mission. It didn't go well for me. So I'm really, really trying to prove myself here. And not just because of that, but obviously we know that he likes Percy a lot as well. So I just like that they kind of had that little mature conversation and that he, oh, geez, these armrests. And that he was able to kind of call out that they needed to stop being so childish and move forward. And then we hear Percy, again, the challenge of him being scared of who he is. They didn't really go too deep into that right now. But of course, like, I don't think either of them are really taking a moment to appreciate that Percy has only been able to mull over this for like a few days. It's a lot to take in. And that coupled with thinking his mother was dead and then discovering she wasn't, like there's a lot going on for Percy right now. And that's what Grover essentially told Annabeth, like, give him a break. Really, really good. I love seeing the three of them in this episode. I'm seeing why they were all chosen. The chemistry is chemistrying. They all get along really well. It feels real. Like these guys are all really going to be good friends at some point. And kudos, really, honestly, Leah Savannah, and I can't remember the name of the male actor. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But the guy who plays Percy, I really liked the way they played when they both recognized that they had turned down the lucrative offers and chosen to do the same thing, like basically chose each other. I mean, not directly, but you know what I'm saying. Chose the group, chose the mission, and basically kind of reacted the same way. And even with Leah, you know, seeing the way Percy just went out there, handled the Fury, came back, you know, came up with the idea of how to take care of Medusa, all of that. Like you just literally, Leah did such a good job. You could see in her eyes how Percy was literally, her perception of him was changing, right? When you look from the beginning of the episode where she's kind of looking down on him and talking to him like he's a child, to the point where at the end where she's really seeing that, okay, I'm starting to see now why this kid's special. Like it's not just his blood, like he really is more than meets the eye. And so I love that she played it so well. And then conversely for Percy, you could see in his eyes from him just kind of being like, what is your problem, from the beginning of the episode to really just being like, okay, like you're impressed. I mean, I think he's definitely thought she was impressive from the get-go, but the more human side of her, I guess he started to really understand that she's not all cold logistics. There is a sentimental side to her and that she's, you know, more like him than not, really. So I like it. You're starting to see the foundation building for that relationship, which is important because we saw him at one point saying, I can't see me and Annabeth ever being friends. And then by the end of the episode, it's clear that the foundation is there for them to become friends. And as we all know, eventually more than friends. I really like the way that they portrayed Medusa in the movies. I feel like she was very heavy-handed. And I love Miss Uma Thurman, don't get me wrong. But I just felt like it was very camp, I guess was the way. But this way, I think it felt so much more realistic to the world they're building here. Just a beautiful, calm, seemingly sweet woman, but who had a presence about her that makes a fury blush. You know what I'm saying? Which is exactly what we would expect from a centuries-old monster. And I love hearing the way that she got to tell her side of the story. Like we saw, of course, Annabeth wasn't willing to hear it. Percy was a little bit more open to it because it throws back to that line in episode 1 where his mom said that not all monsters are monsters, or all people who look like monsters are monsters. And from her side of the story, and I like that they got her to tell it, her saying that, listen, this is the way this story went to me. Like I was loyal, I was devoted to this goddess, and I felt like I didn't get the recognition that I deserved. And then another god showed me something, and then this other goddess who I feel like should have given me more said that I was disloyal and I got punished. And that's the way I see it. Now, I'm sure if we saw it from Athena's point of view, obviously she's going to feel differently. But again, we also know from Greek mythology that they are far from just, and they absolutely acted out of jealousy, anger, pettiness, boredom. Like they were not good. Let's put it that way. They were not good and gracious all the time. So there's probably truth to both what Annabeth believes and what Medusa believes happened. And I like that Percy was kind of the middle ground between those two. But anyway, really good portrayal of her. And I kind of like the way they, instead of having I really like the way they portrayed the little battleground that they were in with Medusa. And I'm glad they actually didn't draw it out. Like, I know they could have made that a much longer scenario, but it makes sense to me that it was just kind of a quick, let's come up with a plan and execute situation. I understand because we just didn't have the time, but also because Medusa's not a fighter. She just had her amazing power. And really, I thought if anything, we'd see more of her trying to convince them to look at her, but they didn't go that way in this episode. And as I said, we're moving right along though. We've moved through the first post, or the first stop, one could say, in this longer quest. And yeah, I saw some in the comments mention that things are going really fast, and I agree. Like, I would love to take a bit more time, but I heard that there's only 8 episodes. So with that in mind, we don't have a lot of time, unfortunately, to spend on these locations and spend on these places. But yeah, hopefully next season they might maybe up it to 10. But for now, I have to say, even though it is going a bit fast for my liking, I don't feel like it's too fast. I feel like they're still doing a really good job of giving us exposition about the story and the characters and the world, but also keeping the plot moving with actually having plot points hit and passed. So yeah, again, this was another solid episode. Really enjoying this. I'm definitely seeing why Rick gave this show the thumbs up, because I think they're really doing it right overall, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video some thumbs up and leave some comments below, and I will see you in the next one.